Okay. Okay, I'll show another example wherein I create an emitter and as you see, I think there are particles which are emitting if you just see. Okay, so what I want is I'll go to attribute. Let me make this as a directional emitter, and per second, let's say some 2 particles or 5 particle be emitted, and I want in y-axis and a bit of, since this is of directional, I want it to give a little bit spread. So when you see, there are a few particles which are emitting. Okay, now instead of 5, I make it 2. Okay. Now if you see, this is the output something which we are getting. So what I'll do, I'm gonna increase the speed of wherein 8 by 6. So it goes something like this. It's like a rocket, multi-rockets, which is moving. So then what I'll do, I'll go to particle shape. I make it 3 by 2 something so that it will not leave forever. Maybe somewhere here it will die. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna change the shape to, instead of point, I'm gonna make it to sphere. Just reduce the radius, that's it. Okay. So particle 1 work is done. That's it for the particle 1. Now what I'll do, I select this particle 1. I'll go to particle, emit from object. Now I have created a secondary particle, and the secondary particle will emit from particle 1. So that you get an output something like this. Okay, which is particle 2. So first thing, particle 2 life, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna make it random range, 1 lifespan 0.5, so that you get something like this, like a rocket. Okay, and the shape, instead of point, I make it streak, current render type, color vacuum. I'm gonna increase the tail size. Okay, and streak, I can make it some 200 or 300 here particles per second. Now you see, it's like a dense, particle you get. This is the fire part which we are working on, and I'm going to apply color for particle 2. That is, click on color, add per particle attribute, add attribute. You get RGB per particle. Right click, create a ramp, and right click, edit the ramp. So this is the fire part which we are looking for. The first part is this one. Then I create this one. Then okay, it's a firework. I press 6. This is what it looks like. Okay, see? Okay, great. Then what I'll do, so it's like fireworks, right? It's like a rocket. Multiple, rockets are going up and it's gonna die at some point. So now what I want is when one particle, the particle one dies, I want another particle to appear like an umbrella in the shape of an umbrella. When the particle one dies, then that umbrella kind of particle should appear. But here, if you observe, particle 2 is generating along with particle 1, and we have defined the lifespan of particle 2 also. It's fine. Now I select particle 1. I'll apply another one wherein emit from object. So I'm going to emit particle 3 from particle 1. And particle 2 is also emitting from particle 1 only. But now we are emitting particle 3 from particle 1. First thing what I'll do, particle 3 should live somewhere for 3 by 2, and instead of point this will be streak. You can see there is a streak along with this. Current and rotate, switch on color vacuum. Something like this. And I apply color for time being. I'm gonna add RGBPP, create a ramp and edit a ramp. I'm gonna apply like what is that color which we are looking for. So I want something like red. I want something like blue. Then I want something like green. Then something like yellow. Like these colors. I'm just thinking. Okay. Now, now it's the time where when do we want particle 2 and when do we want particle 3. So when my particle 1 gets birth, I want particle 2 along with particle 1, which is particle 2 is a fire part. Particle 1 is it's a rocket. That is what we are visualizing. And the third particle is when particle 1 dies, then I want particle 3, which is this umbrella kind of stuff. Okay. So now select particle 1, go to particle. You have something called per point emission rate. See, and these are the attributes right now for particle 1. And when I apply this per point emission rate after selecting for particle 1, select particle 1, we should select. Yeah, select particle 1, go to particle per point emission rate. Now what happens? You get two new attributes, which is emitter 2 rate per particle, emitter 3 rate per particle. So now particle 1 is responsible for the emission of particle 2 and particle 3. So I go to emitter 2, the first thing, which is a fire. I make it create a ramp and I go to array mapper. I go to array mapper, max value I give somewhere 100 for particle 2. That means you get to see the fire and all. I can increase this to 500 if required. Okay. And in the ramp, I want it to be fully present. So this is the start point of particle 1. This is the end point of particle 2. Assume this is a journey or lifespan of particle 1. Particle 2 has to be present in the entire lifespan of particle 1. You get this. Now coming to particle 3, emitter 3, I want particle 3 to emit when particle 1 dies. In that case, create a ramp. Now edit ramp. Now assume this is the birth point of particle 1 and this is the end point of particle 2. In that case, white represents present, okay, life. Black represents death. When particle 1 is getting birth, and we don't want particle 3 to appear. But at the end, when particle 1 is going to die, then I want particle 3 to appear. And I come to array mapper, and I don't want one particle, I want more particle. Let's say I go for 300 something. Now just observe, particle 1 is a, particle 2 is a. When particle 1 dies, you are getting particle 3. See, when particle 1 dies, you are getting particle 3. Okay. So this is particle 3. And how many particle you want? I can go with more number. And for particle 3, I'm going to apply a field called gravity. So when particle 1 dies, see, you get particle 3 and it's falling down. I can increase the attenuation. So let's see how does it looks. Yeah. It's like this. Now what I'll do, I'll select particle 3. I'm going to increase the line width of particle 3. No fade. Okay. Now I'm going to increase the numbers as well. More number of particle 3. See? Great. I do one more thing. Instead of particle 3 just as a streak, I choose multi-streak and I increase the radius. Okay. So it looks good. Particle 1, particle 2 is fine. So you can see the particle 3. Any doubts, Bayabanga? How to achieve this? Bayabanga, any doubt? Bayabanga, you need to unmute. Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this, Bayabanga? Okay. This is what I just wanted to explain today. And there are multiple steps in this. I want you to do this and share the output in video format. Okay. And this particular example we can use for your demo reel as well. Okay. Though today's is a bit short class, since only you are there and maybe, I think you have some hard time. Maybe network issues or, I'm not able to hear you. But try to complete this and others who, if you're watching this, try to complete this example and share the video final output. Okay. Fine then. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.